Hello everyone, and welcome to our project management workshop. I'm Varvara, PR manager of Beetroot Academy, and today I will moderate this discussion and also play a role of a client when we will actually do our project estimation time and cost. And our main speaker will be Alexey Kravchenko. He's our teacher of project management in IT course in Beetroot Academy. He will tell you more about how do we teach, what is the role of project manager, and will show you how to estimate the project and how to negotiate with clients. First of all, I want to ask you, please let me know in our live chat if you hear and see me well, if the quality of video and sound is good. Just put some pluses there or something else just to let me know that it's fine and we will not have any technical issues. And I guess I see a few people waiting for a translation, but we will give a few extra minutes to allow all the listeners to join us. And I will take this time to tell you a little bit more about Beetroot Academy, who we are, how do we teach, just a few minutes about us. Well, actually, Beetroot Academy is a Ukrainian Sweden tech school providing intense practical courses for individuals and companies. We believe that in 21st century, everyone deserves an access to high quality tech education. And our mission is actually to help people build successful career in digital economy, because tech is one of the most fast growing industries in the world. And actually to enter it, you need just a laptop, a stable internet connection, and a desire to practice, to gain new skills, and to start to build your career in new field. Who are our students? As you can see, we teach both starters. These are usually university graduates who are just starting their careers. Also sailors, professionals from different fields, or from tech industry professionals who come to Beetroot Academy to gain new skills and to improve their career or give it a boost. And also we teach switchers. These are people who have a lot of professional experience in other fields, but they decided to try themselves in tech, to switch to a career in tech. So we teach them also. We have a variety of different people studying in Beetroot Academy. And what is interesting, that we work since 2014, and since that almost 7,000 people were trained in Beetroot Academy. And 65 of our graduates are outside of main tech hubs of big cities. They live in small towns, in villages sometimes. And it proves again that you don't need almost nothing to start to build your career in tech. Actually, our workshop today is dedicated to the project management in IT course. And as you can see, the nearest day to start is May 30. It will take you 4 months and 2 times per week for live lessons, and approximately it takes 20 hours to do all the home assignments and to spend time with our teachers and with your groups. I guess Alexey will tell more about the role of project management and project manager and about the course. How do we teach? And the last thing I want to tell before I pass my word to Alexey is that for those who will stay with us till the end and who really wants to try themselves in project management, we will give a promo code for a 15% discount for our course. So if you wanted to get it, just stay with us till the end. Well, Alexey, welcome.
Yeah.
Stage is now yours. Could you tell us more about the role of project manager in IT field?
Yeah, sure. Also, if you hear me well, if there are any problems with my microphone, please write in chat. So 2 words about myself. I started around 15 years ago in IT as developer, then switched to management, and for last 3 years I'm with Beetroot. I'm project management teacher here. Regarding myself, I'm a first of all practitioner who shares experience. I still work in a company in the role of head of delivery, so practice overall here. And there were two main questions asked in advance. First, who is project manager? Second, how can I become a project manager, and what are tricks, hints there? So first, project manager, it's a person who is responsible to deliver project results within scope, time, and budget. So to do what client wants in time, and price should not be overtaken. And next step, what is project manager doing? Project manager is responsible to handle pre-sale process. We will demonstrate it today. It's like an entrance here. It's first step in project management. If you pass properly pre-sale stage, you continue dealing with your client. If you fail it, your client decides to work with someone else. Then, if the contract is signed, as a project manager, you are responsible to compose the team and to handle all process of development. So to demonstrate results, to handle all troubles that may occur, and as a result, deliver a proper project outcomes to the client. This is a project manager role. And next step, if you are newcomer here, there are few points that may help you. First, its managerial role is some other field, maybe in building, healthcare, whatever, no matter. If you have managerial experience, it's a big plus. Then, if you have some background in IT world, it can be QA, developer, it's a really big plus. It can be designer, maybe just support engineer, whoever, it's a big plus for you. As a result, just today, one of my students, he's quite young, he's 17 years old, and he decided to start from support engineer role. He got an offer and he passes project management course, and it's like a first step for him in IT world to work for a few months in this role, and with very high probability then to be promoted to project manager from junior and then to grow.
And if the person has no experience in IT field, no development experience, design, nothing at all, what soft skills are critical to become a project manager?
Here it's tricky. First, it's not a part of your question, but I want to mention that before joining Beetroot, I had big suspicions regarding how is it possible to get person not related to IT world and to help them become a project manager. But after that, in my group's normal situation is that amount of offers is larger than amount of students, and it's just the statistics here. And 4 months is enough to train people. At the same time, yeah, there are some qualities, some skills that are mandatory for a project manager. And I would say few of them. One is responsibility. So you should be a well-organized person. If you are careless, I do not believe that you can be a proper project manager. If you do not want to be an example for your team, just forget about it. Stay where you are, and it will be good for you. Not everyone should become a manager. Second point, it's a kind of charisma, leadership. it can be very different. There are very, very, very different styles in leadership. At the same time, if you can get responsibility, if you have this feeling of responsibility, that you do not give up, you are responsible for that, and you are ready to make decision and give response, even if it's wrong. If you have this feeling, if you have this understanding, yeah, you can be a manager. Otherwise, if you cannot have not this feeling of responsibility, sorry, it's possible for some projects where managerial role is quite formal, but not in reality.
Okay, could you tell me, please, tell all of us a little bit more about what soft skills and what hard skills does the student get in our project management course?
From hard skills, we go step by step through all activities that project manager handles. Today, we will demonstrate pre-sale. Again, it's entrance, it's a base. Other approaches, methodologies, frameworks, they can simplify it a little bit, but it's essential to understand where that all prices come from. Also, there are, we can call it technical hard skills. It's knowledge about using Jira or other ticket management systems, experience of work with different management related tools. And in 50% of the tools, it's Google spreadsheet. It's really popular. It's primitive. It sounds like it's not professional. No, in reality, it's the main professional tool for each project manager. From soft skills, conflict resolution, negotiation, active listening, proper way of communication, and all related. So if you want to be a good manager, you should have some psychological, not a background, but at least understand it. It's really important. I don't hear you. You're muted.
I'm sorry. If I understand correctly, I told that you're right, because if I understand correctly, a project manager is usually like a buffer zone between a client and a team, which actually implements the idea of client.
Yeah, exactly. So project manager is person who should understand clearly what client wants, even if client does not understand what he or she wants. First, forming the scope with client. It's normal situation. Client doesn't know what should be done. Client has a few ideas in his or her mind, and that's it. Let's formalize it first. Then let's translate it to development team and check that development team implements it properly and conveys it back to client. And all aspects related to development, to process building, to reporting, to status check, it's all parts of project management manager activities.
I see a few more questions in the form, in the registration form, but I guess we will answer, you already answered on these questions, part of them. And the last one is a very big one, and it requires us like to demonstrate the thing we will demonstrate right now.
Let's get back to it after our demonstration.
Yes. I also want to like remind to the listeners that we have a live chat that is working. I'm looking through it. So if you have any questions in the process or after it, please don't be shy. Just ask us, and I will tell them to Alexei.
Yeah, and if something that I say sounds like a bullshit, just write it's a bullshit, and I will be happy to answer it. So no moderation here regarding tricky questions. It's a part of this presentation.
Yes, I guess it's time to go to our demonstration of entry, as you told us, estimation of project. Could you please?
Yeah, let me start here. Imagine I'm a project manager, and how a project manager's day looks like. I come to my working place and I see that, okay, my sales account manager found a potential client. Who's potential client? It's a person who wants us to build some system. And we start the pre-sale. So here, Varvara is a client. She comes to me, trying to explain what she wants. And my task is to convey to Varvara that she should deal with our company, not with other company, because other company will always provide another numbers. As I say, others, they are ready to do it 2 times cheaper and 3 times faster. And we need to explain why exactly this price and how it's going to be done.
Okay, let's pretend I'm a client. I have an idea. Actually, I can't tell Alexei, I have an idea. I have a food market and a food delivery service. And we were trying, me and my partners were trying to find out how to promote this delivery service. And we found an insight that usually, maybe you know this feeling when you're standing in front of your fridge and you don't know what to cook for dinner. So we decided that we will need a mobile application that will provide users with recipes, with different recipes or different dishes, and make a list of these recipes and actually give them an opportunity to order the products they need for cooking in our food delivery service. And I'm very good client. I'm a prepared one. So I prepared a thing which is called Project Vision. Alexei, please tell us more.
So Project Vision is a very small document, not more than 1 sheet of paper that describes what exactly do you want. It includes business justification, business idea, justification, and other aspects. Because usually project manager spends around 4 hours during this requirement workshop trying to ask a client, what exactly do you want? I usually ask, what do you want? Should it be Android application? Yes. Oh, nice. Let's proceed. What should this application do? It should simplify food ordering and delivery. Okay. So here Varvara prepared well, and she prepared this document. So please share it.
Yeah, now I will share it. Yes, can you see it? Okay. I prepared one document, not like a sheet of paper, but I prepared it as a presentation to make it easier and more exciting to watch. So Project Vision, we need an Android application with a list of recipes and food ordering functionality to promote our food delivery service. Is it correct?
Okay, and my question is, what should it do? How it should work?
Yes, that's why I have written a justification, how it works. You can see user chooses a dish and application provides him the list of products that are needed to cook it. Then calculates how much it will cost and what items are needed. And then I guess user can check the list, remove the items. Maybe he has something in his fridge already, or something that is not needed right now, or maybe something he has an allergy for. And finally, he makes an order for our delivery service and gets all these projects very quickly and can cook.
And next step from project manager is usually to ask, I'm not sure I got it properly. So I ask if I get it properly. I am lazy. I want to order products for next week, and I select dishes I want to cook during this week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, and it generates for me some order that should be automatically composed. I can check that, for example, I have a lot of milk in my fridge, so I do not plan to buy more milk, but everything else, I just want to form an order, and I do not want to spend time for reading recipes, calculating some sum for that, and getting solid list. Is it correct?
Yes, yes, sure.
Good. Yeah, it makes sense, definitely.
Yes, and I also prepare like a summary that our application will simplify choosing and ordering products for their favorite dishes. I mean, users. Then the next step, Alexei. So,
So it's good if client has some vision what should be done and how should it look like. So here we have, let's imagine I read this document as a project manager. Basic Android application with authorization and registration for new users. Okay, nice, clear. Categorized list of recipes and dishes. Nice. Options to compose the order and get order summary. Nice. Order history, delivery service integration. So you have your delivery service, want to integrate with that. Nice. Payment system integration. This document, this list roughly can be called SRS, software requirement specification, but no, it's more like a feature list. If we extend each point, it will be software requirement specification. But here it's good that client comes with some list. It means that it's quite mature client and it's a good sign for us.
but usually, as you know, it doesn't work like this. Usually project manager spends a lot of time asking and trying to figure out what does the client want. Yes.
There is other classic example when client comes to you and tells you, I want to get a solution like eBay, but a little bit with some additional features. And I have 10K USD to cover that. Can we do it? And at this moment, you understand that, okay, cool.
But there is also
here it's quite well prepared list.
But when the client comes, as from your example, this is a project manager's job to explain him why it is not possible.
Yeah, so look here, client, it doesn't mean that this client is naive. It doesn't mean that this client is not smart or whatever. It's normal. It can be just the first time this client wants to prepare to make some project. And your task is to explain that, yeah, it's possible to implement some solution for your price. At the same time, how to explain that what should be done and how much would it cost. This is pre-sale process, and this step is building work breakdown structure and estimation.
Okay, then let's go to the last one slide. Constraints and assumptions and success criteria. Success criteria, I guess it's like obvious for everyone. And constraints and assumptions, why do we need them when we try to estimate the project?
Yeah, so here it's nice to see that there is some limit in times, there is some budget limited, and there is also assumption that UI UX design may be provided by the client. It's nice. It's usual situation when client wants to get the best price, and how to deal with that. Okay, to ask everyone to provide prices, because maybe someone wants to cheat you. So let's examine them. Success criteria. It also should be realistic, and it's good if we have some success criteria. Also, success criteria can contain scope to prepare application with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 features. Here, everything looks quite realistic. So 100 real users within 2 months after the release. Nice. 1,000 orders in 6 months. Good. integration with our delivery service. Nice. You prepared quite well. I'm impressed.
Thank you, thank you. So we have 2 months and expected budget of $30,000 to implement my idea. And now, Alexey, I guess I will stop presenting, and Alexey now will show us how the manager really estimates how many time and cost will it take to implement my idea, and he will show us if my expectations are realistic or not.
Exactly. So here, what is not a good approach? Just to answer yes, no, like, yeah, we can do it, or no, we cannot do it. It will cost 50K USD, for example. What will cost? I don't know. Or to tell, like, we want to work with this client and to tell, like, we can do it. Yes, sir. And that's it. But your task is to formalize, to provide proper answer. And here we start with our favorite tool, that is Google Spreadsheet or Excel. The document entrance point here for you as for project manager is to build work breakdown structure, WBS. It usually looks like this or similar. Do I need to scale it? Does it look well?
Yes, yeah, that's fine.
So we saw that feature list. And as a project manager, I know, okay, we have Android application. It's good. So usually Android application has some home page. And we try to, now I'm formalizing it and trying to build structural document. So it's about structure. First level, it's pages. Second level is features. There can be third level, like sub features, if it is needed. Usually in work breakdowns, there are 2 or 3 levels. Here, everything's quite simple, so let's keep 2. When I ask client, I ask, okay, do we have a homepage? Definitely. It's difficult, you know, it's difficult to write application that has no home page. As an Android developer, I know it's possible, but it will be called service. Here we have homepage. What should be there? I ask client. And this process of building work breakdown structure is called requirements workshop. You can involve business analysts here if needed, if you have business analyst. Here I ask client, should there be some sign in, sign up, some authentication functionality? Probably.
Yeah, of course.
Forgot password, do we need it?
Yeah, because we will have a registration, so users usually forgot their passwords.
Should this homepage contain some intro information, general info about our application, that you install this application, that and you can do this, and this? Should homepage contain?
Yeah.
Okay. So in reality, it, you know, it looks from the beginning, it looks like this, nothing here, and you write here homepage, then next page, then you provide details here. And this process of building a work breakdown, it can take easily around 4 hours. 2 hours spending for that, I would say that it's quite fast for a real big project.
And project
here, okay.
Does it, yes?
Could you repeat?
Do it and present to the client.
The best way here is cooperation, proper cooperation. You sit together with client. You just share your screen. Make it open and transparent for client. You work with client together. You are one team at this moment. You start working on this project, and that's it. If you talk to client and then come with this work breakdown, it's not the best scenario. Involve clients there. it will guarantee that in the end of this activity, client will like this work breakdown, because the client was also involved into this implementation and building this work breakdown. So first homepage, okay. Then if we signed in, we need to be registered. And for that, we need some registration process. Is it correct? So do we need some user registration page?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, good. If we signed in, what do we see? We probably see some list of 4 recipes categories, like
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with some 3, correct?
Otherwise, it will be a mess of recipes with some categories.
So we have dishes categories we see if we logged in. If we sign in, if we are registered users, we can sign in. If we need to sign up, we go to user registration page, we input there all our data and register there. After then, we reach these page categories where we see all categories. Okay, we select some recipe and we open appropriate page that contains probably details, info, and possibility to add this item to our order. Do you want to add anything here?
I don't think so.
Or would be enough for now? Okay. Order summary. Okay, we selected this, and this. We need to see some, like our result that should be shown, and we should have possibility to edit that. So it's page with such features. Everything correct here?
Yeah.
Do we need order history?
I guess yes, it will be a pleasure for our users if they could choose something they liked.
Then do we need separate page for delivery info where we can specify everything that is needed?
Guess so, yes.
Should we integrate with some payment system?
Yes, that's my favorite payment system.
Nice. So it took for us around 5 minutes. In reality, it takes around 2 hours.
It's just because we were prepared. Yes.
Yeah. We want you to ask more questions in the end. And as a result, you get this work breakdown, and the end of this activity is to send this work breakdown to your client. Dear client, here is a work breakdown structure. You can read it again, and if you have any comments, you're welcome. And now on our side, we will start estimating it. So what is interesting here for a client? Is it realistic to implement it within $30,000 and in 2 months? Can you answer this question looking on this page? Definitely no, here are no numbers. Next step is to provide client with an estimate. And we start estimating it. So here you see the same work breakdown with additional columns. It is Android application, and client asks, who was it, guys? Let's start from that. If it is Android application, definitely we should have Android developer. It's quite difficult to write Android application without Android developer. Then it should work with some backend. BE, it's backend, FE, it's frontend part. So we should have some website where we can administrate and manage our system. If you, for example, register user, we should have this base of users, database with user info somewhere. If we calculate our order, this information also goes to our backend and should be handled there. We cannot implement it as Android application only. So from development side, we need Android developer, backend developer, and front-end developer. So there are our actors here. And then there was a question. If we can involve technical guys here, and we have one more step here, general technical setup. It's like setup of all environments. It's needed. It's a part of development. If we have developers in front of us, we can sit with them and ask them to provide this estimate in man hours. Another situation, lucky you if you are a developer in the past, if you have development background, but it's not too popular situation. Then you can, from your experience, provide some estimates here. If you have no developers in front of you, if you have no technical background, at the same time, if it's not first project you implement, you should have some quite good feeling how much usually does it take. Sign in, sign up for good password, intro functionality. So after passing 10 pre-sales, you will clearly understand how much roughly takes each step.
But
yeah.
if you don't have an experience and you have no idea how much time it will take, what should you do? And what should you do if you underestimate it?
Yeah, so here, if you are a junior, it means you have your manager or some mentor who should handle that. It cannot come from nowhere. Also, one more hint, you may have some friends, teammates, developers from other projects who sit in the same office with you, and you can ask them to spend half of an hour to explain you why does it take this month so much hours. So you need some consultants here. When you have experience, you can do it on your own. If you underestimate it and you already started the project, then you should have proper comments. It's a part of this activity is called risk management and change management. Risk management, if you expected that it will take this amount of time, for example, 20 hours, and after starting working on it during our discovery phase, you see, no, it's not 20, it's 120. Your role, it's a risk here and you should handle it properly. So you prepare and you go to your client and explain why it happened this way. That your estimation was based on point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we discovered points 6 and 7 that correct our estimation. And now we need to sit all together and to decide what to do in this situation. Maybe we should modify our request. Maybe we should simplify it. Maybe we need to extend our budget or some other approaches here. And it's the role of manager here. Manager is responsible for handling such situations. It's main managerial responsibility. It never goes according to the plan. And the main point of manager, one of my tutors told me is that there are 2 questions each project manager should have answer for them 24/7. First, when it's going to be done? Second, why so long? And unfortunately, this is the reality. And when we face this reality, the main goal main task for manager is to explain properly what was estimated based on and what was discovered and what is the result, what are our options. It never goes strictly according to the plan.
It seems to be quite a complicated part of the job, and I guess on our course we do it with our students.
Yeah, and you should have good negotiation skills for that, for sure. And welcome hard skills. It's change management, it's risk management, theory here, negotiation, 3 points. By the way, parts of our course. And it's like intermediate step here, because we have 3 developers. Is it enough to build a project? No. And we come to our technical estimate. Here are the same numbers. I call it technical estimate. There can be different kind of naming, but the idea is we calculate here man hours only. We do not calculate here any money. What is needed for? If you provide client with some numbers in USD, it will be a referral number for whole discussion. It will be very difficult then to change the price. If you provide client with some numbers of man hours like this, 1,115. What does it mean? I don't know. Also, if you use resources, I mean developers from your some providers, outstaff companies, you can show them this. You do not share any confidential info. So this is not confidential. And where does it come from? Here are our roles: Android developer, backend developer, front-end developer. Also, we need QA, we need designer, we need business analyst, project manager. And here you can find section. I added it to the template because each time you get question like, okay, Android, backend, front-end, QA, designer, business analyst, I can understand. But what is project manager doing here? And my question here, dear client, I spent 20 hours talking to you here, preparing this presentation to you, doing all that, and
You
it
should
also should be covered. Yeah, it should be paid. It's normal. So what is project manager responsible for? Communication with client and development team, estimation and planning. It's exactly this. Status check, reporting, dependencies management and resolving impediments. Check. Change and risk management, technical discussion, resources allocation. So where is it numbers come from? We see 2 buffers here. One is stabilization buffer, one is risk buffer. Risk buffer, it's more or less clear. Something gone wrong and we couldn't predict it. It's risk buffer. What is stabilization buffer? Stabilization buffer, it's a part of regression. So let's imagine we have 10 modules in our system. We prepared, completed first one, checked, it works. Second, third. When we completed development of number 8 and 10, we have broken number 1 and 5. But we didn't check it. To make all system work together and to prepare our release, this is stabilization effort buffer. And as a result, we have our efforts here. We managed here compose it with formulas. Where QA effort comes from. If you can involve QA to this estimation, it's nice. Otherwise, according to your feelings, so Android developer is the biggest part here. It's around months with a half. In a parallel works backend frontend, but here effort is smaller, and we see that usually for such situation, QA effort will be something around 160. Another formula here is 40% of for general developer effort. But here I see that if it's 1 month with a half of development at all, so it will be around 1 month of QA activities. Also design around 60, business analyst around 60. So designer provides design, business analysts provides description for our tasks. Project manager, it can be 10% from some of other efforts. Usually it's from 10 to 20%. What does client pay for? Here we go. And as a result, we get some numbers that this effort will take a little bit more than 1,000 man-hours. I call it technical estimate. And client asks, okay, good. How much it's gonna cost? And here we have next step. We call it estimate. There is one more that is internal estimate. So, but if you call it external estimate for client, it will explain properly that there is probably a hidden part.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And if there is hidden part, something unfair is there for sure.
Yeah.
So let's call it just estimate. Here we add rates for each row. Rates are more or less realistic for our market, at least roughly. And as a result, we come to some number like 46,000 K USD.
Oh my God, I have only 30,000.
Yeah, at the same time, strictly confidential. Is it clear how much we're gonna earn here?
No. I just see how many money I have to pay.
Yeah. And at the same time, we have this document. It's equal with some differences. We have internal rates here. So this is the price, how much does each specialist cost for us per hour. And here are our expenses that we should cover. This is external rate.
Mm-hmm.
Here numbers. Let's take the same numbers from here and to here.
Change it.
Ba-bam. Yeah. 4622, 4622. Yeah, it's the same. And here we see that our revenue should be this. We pay to our resource providers this amount. This is our profit. It's revenue minus expenses. And profit split it by revenue. It's our margin. Margin 54%. You discuss before sending this estimate to your client. You sit together with your sales account manager or with your direct manager, and you can propose some numbers here, but final decision is here on account manager side or sales. And here, what we see here, like, okay, account manager tells you that I know that there are only 30K, but okay, what can we do here? Can we decrease?
Oh, I know.
Usually,
You at the beginning that we can provide designs by our own.
yeah.
So we can remove the designer.
Let's start from this point. So as a project manager, you jump from one to another. For example, I come to client and tell, this is our estimate. Client, what do you want to tell me?
I don't have money for it.
Yeah, you have no enough. And okay. And what can we cut here? As a client, you see that I added here designer effort. But you mentioned that you can provide design. Is it still an option?
Yeah,
Can
sure.
you provide it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be cheaper.
A little bit cheaper. Okay. Business analyst. Maybe you can also play a role of business analyst and describe all stories, but it will provide more effort, require more effort from you. Would it be possible? Do you know how to describe user stories?
No.
Okay, so it's not an option. And here we can start playing with our scope. Your task, when you present this estimate, it's normal situation when your client asks you categories 40, what for, why so many? and you describe what is there. It's good if you can provide some prototype. By the way, it's a good skill for a project manager to know how to build prototypes in Figma, Zeppelin, or some related similar tools. Here, we can start negotiation. And user registration. Okay, how much fields should be there? Maybe for first version would be enough to have just email and password. Would it be enough?
I guess yes.
Okay, so it simplifies.
Project.
And we can decrease it. It's not 16, but it's 8 now. You see the result, it's going lower. Administration. Okay, administration. Can we also simplify it? Yeah, if we simplify registration, if we have only 2 fields there, it would be much easier, and it also will be like 8. Then categories. Should it look pretty, or can it look primitive in first version?
Okay, what is the summary there? Like 40,000?
It's 40. We can really simplify it.
Okay.
It will look not so nice, but we can decrease it to 24 each. Would it be okay for you?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Recipe details. Also, we can play here with UI to make it look just like a simple spreadsheet and without animations, without images. Would it be okay for the beginning?
Let's try, yeah.
Let's try. So it would be 20 and 16. And now the process we are going through is like negotiation, and results that we will get. It's called MVP, minimum viable product. In theory, MVP can be limited by different aspects. In reality, 95% its price. Okay, order summary also can simplify it. Edit here, not too much. Order history. Okay, also let's simplify it. Delivering for primitive one, and payment we cannot simplify. It's just integration, unfortunately. And let's see, we have 32 KUSD.
Much better. They have.
Yeah. And now you can go as a client, for example, to my account sales account manager and discuss those prices. When you come to account manager has already all this info from project manager, like this.
Mm-hmm.
And designer 0. Yeah. Same numbers. Nice. And account manager sees it. Yeah, we still have quite a good margin here. And we can provide some discount here. This, it was 45. Let's put each developer 40. 40. Then QA 32, 30. Designer, it's 0. It's okay. Business analyst. Let's put also 30. And project manager 50, 48. When sales manager sees something like 9, there it usually looks. And before negotiation with the client, account manager comes to client with this number. This is our proposal to you. How does it look like?
Great. I even have $100 left.
Yeah. From my side, I love this comment, like we have a buffer, and I say, yeah, be sure there will be a reason to spend that buffer, and you will be initiator for sure. You will come and ask to do more. It's always the same. So, but now we have this buffer. Sounds good. And as a result, what we see, it will take around 2 months, and we can fit our budget. So now, client, your turn. Decide, should we sign the contract or not?
Of course,
And
it should.
this estimate will be
Sounds
attached.
silly.
And look, here is a trick, this part. When you see that you underestimated, you provide information to client like we simplify our categories. What simplify means, it's not too strict explanation. It means, yeah, you ask me to simplify it, now you ask me to complicate it, to extend it, and this takes more price. So this is a trick. This is your role as a project manager to explain why does it take so much. And this estimation, it's a part of pre-sale, that is an entrance point for each project. And look here, our margin now is 49%. That looks pretty good.
And what is the usual margin?
If it is 40%, it's good. Everything is more than 40, it's very good. But 40, it's average good result.
Thank you. I think we've done a perfect estimate, and our margin is even more. And we have a comment there, like if our client would ask to change buffers index at first.
Yeah, it's a regular request. And if I was a project manager, I would say like, okay, we can decrease those buffers. At the same time, if we decrease our risk buffer, it means if problem happens, we have less buffer to cover it. At the same time, to just clearly explain to your client, you can decrease whatever you want. At the same time, it decreases our reserve of strengths. It decreases our efforts that we will require for sure in the future.
But do we really need to show this buffers index to the client?
As from my experience, it's good. At least, otherwise, this effort should be included into our estimates. We can just add that numbers there, and for each estimate to say that it includes stabilization and some extra effort for release preparation and risk buffer for that. It's
so we cannot just hide this information, yes?
It will be there if you do not mention risk buffer when you provide your estimate. It shows quite, it looks weird. It's just a normal part here. It covers unpredictable risks. If you do not mention, I would ask, are you prepared for risks? No, we are professionals. Okay, thank you very much. Otherwise, this stabilization, where does it come from? It's release preparation. You can add here and write like, it's okay. Some managers love to write here like ceremonies and meetings. We will spend so much time for that. It's okay, it's just a variation here. But it should be clear for clients where the numbers come from. And we can here decrease whatever you want, but it affects our outcomes.
Okay, if you have any questions, our listeners, I see you're watching now, you can still put into the live chat. And I guess now we will come to the question we had before in our registration form. And this is quite a long question. I will divide it into parts. It starts with how to deal with the following. First, you're required to estimate complex projects within hours and without any support from technical experts. Afterwards, you're held to those numbers regardless of any discoveries or changes. How to deal with it?
First, project is complicated. It means probably you are not a junior here. If you are a junior and complicated big project was assigned to you, yeah, it's quite risky. So you have some experience. From your experience, put that numbers. After that, be prepared and write a list of assumptions for each of those. So here, I expect to spend 80 man-hours. And next column, comment, it includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So try to provide more details. Details will be changed for sure, and then it will be a reason for negotiation, for bargaining. Like we plan to do this 1, 2, 3, you want to do it differently. Doing it differently takes more. Just prepare for that. It's just part of PM professionalism.
Okay, the next part. Second, leadership/sales demands you to cut your budget in half because the clients needs a good price. Then demand you keep the margin at a certain percentage to make profit.
Yeah, you should be prepared for that, and you just update your internal estimate and come here and okay, should it be 20, 20, 20, 15, 40, 30, and 24. And dear manager, look, it's will be even profitable. We will earn 1K USD. That is cool with 6% of margin. As a project manager, you are not responsible for that financial numbers. You are responsible for deliver. Business analyst. 15. Yeah. A little bit of charity here. Is this client so important for us? So we are ready to donate this client a little bit. Maybe on the next iteration, we plan to earn a lot. So here we donate $200. Next time we will earn much more. From your sales perspective, is it okay? Yes, no. You as a project manager, your role here is to provide this estimate. You are not decision maker here. Just visualize it for your leadership, for your managers, for your sales, and that's it. Let them make the decision.
Yeah, see, this is the third part here, like, but I guess we already answered in it. We told it about during our presentation. What is the process of managing the budget during the project, and what is the process of dealing with budget risks?
So here, every first and second point, it's almost the same. You provide an estimate, then you track tasks. Developers log their time in ticket management system, and you see that for this feature was spent this amount of hours, for this amount of hours, and you compare your estimate to your results, and as a result you see, are you going well in time perspective, in price perspective? Look, here answer is not to calculate it properly, but proper risk management and change management. For sure, your client will come to you with some ideas that something should be changed. Here, I'll need a little bit more. This should be done this way, not as I asked from the beginning. You, as a project manager, should handle it properly and provide a proper price to convey to your clients that we can do whatever you want without our right. That's it.
Okay, and we have a little bit more questions. primarily from the newcomers. How do you recommend, what are the first steps into getting to IT field, I guess, as a project managers? How do we start out?
Yeah, so first of all, you can find proper courses and pass them. And there is no guarantee that your first courses will be successful enough. You may like some lecture or school or whatever here, but to do it here, just try yourself, or at least try to listen, to ask your friends if you have QAs or if you have managers or if you have developers, what exactly are they doing? To try to show you what is that. And if you like it, it looks proper way for you, you can proceed with some basic education. And after that, starting from junior position. It's realistic.
And another question is how to become PM in IT without experience. I guess this is more about what
The same.
e-commerce path. Yes. How do you start?
Yeah. So you start from education, and then.
But if you already have an education
experience.
and just want to enter the market.
Important point of each course should be preparing your CV and understanding how to pass an interview. For my students, it's like criteria of success to write a CV and pass, and usually fail at least 3 interviews, real interviews. If you do it with very high probability, you will get an offer in a month or 2.
And another question is, what certificates are essential as a beginner? If there are any.
Here, I would say that, yes, there are some certificates, but they are not essential for beginners. It's good that if you have any certificate, if you passed any courses, if you are a beginner, because it provides your potential employer, your interviewer, with some understanding that you are at least prepared somehow. Otherwise, if you have no background, if you have no clue what is that, and you have just big desire to become project manager without any preparation, it won't work.
And
so you need to know the theory for sure.
Question from the live chat. Question from outside the industry is quote. What is your favorite time logging tool?
Here, it's a little bit tricky question because I'm not sure what kind of time tracking tool was meant here. I will answer 2 points. Point number 1, it's that screen trackers that provide your company with screenshots. What exactly are you doing? You press the button and you start working on that. You should move your mouse, click buttons. It's really a nightmare. I hate that, and everyone hates it for sure. And it's called time tracking system. From other side, if you use Jira, for example, you can use different plugins, or you can use just Jira itself, as I do it with my colleagues in my current company. Why do we need it? Because as a manager, I want to see how much efforts was spent for each task. And if developer worked whole working day on one task, I just ask in the end of the day to write, click button, log, and write there 8 hours, and that's it. Thank you very much. I will not control how much time did you spend for work. I want to see that, for example, this general effort for this task, it took 240 hours. Okay, so it was a big task. Nice. So Jira and Jira plugins here work pretty well. And also some other plugins for other ticket management systems.
Thank you, Alexei, for this performance. Amazing, for sure. I hope our listeners found out more about PM, project manager's job.